Narcissistic people tend to do things where you can't quite recognise what they're actually doing, or their behaviour can be justified or excused in some way, or you're left feeling confused or crazy around them, like you're the one that might be the problem. When it comes to narcissistic individuals, some will be grandiose and very overt and usually have enough flying monkeys and enablers to support them so that they can be themselves no matter who they are around. And they still use covert behaviours. With the majority, they are using those covert behaviours in order to manipulate and exploit and get their needs met by you. And one of the first of these is their gaslighting, where they're looking to go all out to distort the truth to suit their narrative, where they're going to go all out to deny saying hurtful things to you, or claim that you're too sensitive, you're overreacting to the situation, it wasn't that bad. Or they're going to turn around and claim that something that you know definitely did happen never happened. You're the one that's imagining things. Here we go again. You're always looking to try and pin the blame on them. So a narcissistic individual will go all out to gaslight your reality to suit their narrative, to suit the persona that they're trying to sell to those around them. They will also use that passive aggressive behaviour. Now, as we can all have our sulky moments, and as we can all have those bad days, we can all have those times when someone has insulted us and we just don't quite know what to say, so we just go a little bit into ourselves. So when a narcissistic individual falls silent on you, you tend to believe you've done something to hurt them, which in one sense you have. However, it can be something that you should be able to do, such as set a boundary, say no. They get offended. They get sulky. They come at you with those backhanded compliments in order to coercively control you into living life on their terms. They fall silent on you, they sulk to get you to chase after them, to get you to apologise to them for the things that they did to you, to get you to beg for their forgiveness for the things that they've actually done to you. They will go all out with that victimhood. They're going to look to play the victim in order to gain the sympathetic attention so that they can get away with their behaviour, because to a narcissist, nothing is ever their fault. Nothing negative, nothing that makes them look bad is ever their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Somebody made them do it. Catch a narcissistic individual cheating and they will go all out to deny and deflect and dismiss, and they will turn around and claim, well, if you'd have paid me more attention, I wouldn't have needed to go elsewhere. You can park your car on the driveway and they can come home and knock your wing mirror clean off, and it'll be your fault for where you parked the car. If you hadn't have parked your car there, they wouldn't have hit your car. And you can find yourself when they're saying these things to you thinking, unbelievable. Yet they actually believe it within themselves. There's no getting through to them. They've made their reality to suit themselves so that they can perceive themselves as perfect and faultless. Everything is always somebody else's fault. So they are going to play the victim. They're going to claim all the hardships so that they can get all the sympathetic attention. They will go all out to triangulate you. They will bring third people into the argument. Now, if they feel like you've rejected them in some way, abandoned them in some way, not given them the attention that they believe they're entitled to, they will go all out to flirt with somebody in front of you. And then when you go to try and express your feelings to them, they're going to gaslight you. Only because you've got these feelings, you question yourself. Then they're going to accuse you of being, oh, is somebody jealous? I think you're imagining things. You might be a little bit insecure. Perhaps you've got trust issues. And you can't get your thoughts and your feelings across, which naturally causes that frustration. You might then negatively react out to them because they are going to pull the worst out within you. And then they're going to blame you. They're going to stand back. Wow, what's wrong with you? Well, somebody's had a bad day. And then they feel good because they believe that the wrong has been righted, that you now feel how they did. And that feels good to them. They like the empathy to care. Where you don't want to hurt another person's feelings. They enjoy hurting other people's feelings. They will use the third person to triangulate. They will use the third person to make you feel jealous. They will use the third person to validate their argument. Well, so-and-so things. Well, they agree with me. It's only you that doesn't agree with me. So you question who you are and not what they're doing. They will go all out to project their negative traits, their negative qualities, their mistakes onto somebody else because they don't make mistakes. It's everybody else's fault and never their own. And no matter how much you try and explain it to them, it's just not going to go through. They're not interested in listening to that negative feedback. You must be talking about yourself. You must be talking about somebody else. They are going to accuse others of being selfish when they themselves are some of the most selfish people you could ever meet. They are very insensitive people, yet they're going to accuse you of being too sensitive when they are some of the most sensitive people you could ever meet. They are going to accuse you of being jealous when they are some of the most envious people you could ever meet. Yet it helps them with their narrative that, oh look, they're bitter, they're jealous, they're selfish, they're awkward, they're stubborn. It's nothing to do with me, it's who they are as a person. And the narcissist then feels better about themselves. They will accuse you of the very behaviours that they actually display within themselves. They will use that emotional manipulation, the guilt trips, the pity plays, to control and manipulate in order to get their needs met. They will invalidate who you are as a person. They will dismiss your feelings. They will belittle you. They will mock you. They will shame you. They will humiliate you. They want to make you feel like you're not enough so that they can feel superior to you. And they're looking for that image maintenance. So they're going to go to great lengths to maintain an image to the outside world, which is completely different to inside the home. They're going to go all out to impress strangers rather than taking care of their own family. Now, as the majority of people know, that if you are in a meeting, a very important meeting, in a work environment, you perhaps are not going to act the same way as if you were out bowling with your friends or family. There's certain social norms that we tend to abide by, whereby with a narcissistic individual, they're looking to paint themselves in a light that suits their narrative, that makes them look good. So if they're not getting the attention they believe they're entitled to from their family, they're going to go to a bunch of strangers to tell those strangers everything they've ever done for their family and how their family just doesn't appreciate them, doesn't care about them, to gain the sympathetic attention. And as people have usually been raised by these kinds of families where you were dismissed and mocked and judged and belittled, you can feel compassion for them and you want to help and support them, and then the narcissist will go right ahead and take advantage of you, because narcissistic individuals tend to tell things that can potentially be true. It's just they've twisted the narrative to work in their favour, because they're not interested in anyone else's point of view. They're just interested in exploiting you to get their needs met by you, because they lack the empathy to care for you. And if you spot any of these behaviours in people, it's very wise to emotionally, psychologically and physically distance yourself from these kinds of people. You can explain a boundary to them once, you can communicate to them once, and if they listen, then it's potentially just a one-off or a misunderstanding. And if you can communicate that misunderstanding, great. We all make mistakes. However, if you find you cannot communicate with them, every time you try to communicate with something that they don't want to agree with, you walk away feeling worse. Every time you try and tell them how you feel, your feelings are used against you. These are not the kinds of people you want to be communicating boundaries with verbally. These are the kinds of people you want to communicate your boundaries with great distance, so that they can no longer exploit your emotions. They can no longer cause that psychological or physical harm. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot get no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a couple of books out on Amazon, 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, and a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. Those links will also be in the description if you'd like to go and check them out. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.